Game of the day. HamSlammich versus Mr. Cannon. Cole versus Jess.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Sam, the original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, folks, we have ourselves a match on Straight as the Gate. This is a triple base airport in no comm tower support matchup. Absolutely no towers on this one, folks, and we have a special one here because we are featuring myself, Mr. Cannon, aka Sam, the original guy. And we are fighting the one, the only HamSlammich. HamSlammich is who we're facing, folks. This one was played live in the live queue over on HamSlammich's Twitch during his stream. I managed to snipe him. I had no intention of sniping him at the beginning of the stream, but then I did. So this is what we're doing, folks. This is what we're doing. Now, HamSlammich is a well-known Acid Rain player, but I am also a well-known Acid Rain player. So we're going to just allow him to play Acid Rain, folks. I will be Red Fire for this one, which is perfectly fine. Now, if we take a look at the map, we can see that this is an absolutely odd map, folks. There's no comm towers on this map, folks. We got Troll, Cole, and Jess as the COs. Now, my best thought for this map is obviously you're supposed to go down here, you're supposed to grab a base, you're supposed to go up here, you're supposed to grab this, and then you're just supposed to go over here willy-nilly, try to grab these properties, maybe deny this property, maybe deny this property, maybe grab this property. But essentially, it's just going to be a big battle in the center. It's going to be very difficult to find your way across the map here because you're going to be facing armies head on for this one. So there's not really anything too significant going on with this map. There's a lot of planes here. So like maybe Jake could have possibly been a pick for this one. But so that is the map, folks. We had a recent update with the armies in Advance Wars by Web also, so you should see a little bit of a difference in the character sprites, so that'll be super fun. But without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. Just so you know, folks, this will be the greatest game of Advance Wars you have ever seen in your life. It's possibly gonna go down as one of the goats. One of the goats for sure, folks. And you'll see why. You'll see exactly why. Because on the first few days, folks, we have standard infantry builds. You gotta get the infantry on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action, folks. Now, HamSlammich. What a guy, folks. HamSlammich might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Advance Wars streamer. He is a funny guy. He's a funny guy with a funny sandwich face, and I like it. I like it a lot, folks. And he's decided to play as Cole for this one. I think Adder might have been banned. I don't know. But either way, is what it is. Now we can see he's going for that neutral base, folks. You got to get that neutral base. Basically, there's going to be not really much of a difference between the movements of the units for at least the first few days. I mean, there's really only one route that you can go for this one, folks, you know? And it looks like we're both going for it. But I bust out a tank, folks. I bust out the tank. The Jess tank. The Tankerino Rex, folks. He's on the field and he's ready. He's ready to go. But it is at this point... when I see something going on here, folks. And there's something a little bit different about this game, folks. There's something a little bit different about this game because HamSlammich, the Slaminator of Ham, he has not built a tank. He does not have a tank on the field, folks. Now, why would somebody not buy a tank when you can easily buy a tank? I don't know. It's odd, you know, it's odd. I was pondering this, folks. I was pondering it. So I decided to not build another tank. I don't think I could have built a tank, but I didn't build another vehicle. I also skipped this property down here, immediately jumped to this property because I feel like maybe it might be a little bit better just to grab this property first. That way I can use the infantry to maybe deny this property here. And with no comm tower, just his infantry are going to be absolutely abysmal, folks. They are not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage at all. So, yeah, they're not really going to be doing a whole lot here. But either way, they're going to be excellent at being bad. That is what they are going to be doing, folks. Now, HamSlammich, once again, he's got 14,000 money banked up, and he still has not purchased a vehicle, folks. And at this point, this is when everything truly begins to formulate inside my brain here, folks. This is when I realize that HamSlammich is up to no good. He is up to no good, folks. He's got 14,000 money in the bank. He's going to have 11,000 added to that. That's going to be 25,000 funds, folks. He could possibly purchase the Soiled Abomination. Oh my god. Imagine if he opens up with the Soiled Abomination, folks. How would we be able to get enough soap over here in order to wash this sandwich clean? I have no idea, folks. But I decided to not buy a vehicle, folks. I do triple infantry. Triple infantry so that I will have 22,000 money next turn. It's a lot of money. That is a lot of money to have, folks. Now, bada bing, bada boom. The infantry are moving. And then a bomber appears out of nowhere into the sky. The classiest unit of the sky, folks. He is here. HamSlammich with the traditional bomber triple infantry opener on day 7. Oh my lord. And this bomber is an absolute monster, folks. It's an absolute monster. It's going to stop the denial of this property. It's going to stop the denial of this property. What am I going to be able to do? What can I do to counter such a massive threat of the sky, folks? Everybody knows that if you have air superiority in Advance Wars, there's a good chance that you are going to be winning. Now, I made a choice here, folks. I made a choice. And I was watching the VOD afterwards. I noticed that HamSlammich mentioned this, folks. He mentioned this move right here. He was like, why would semi-original guy not go like this and then go here and then attack right here? Attack this unit right here. Why would he not do that? Well, there's a very specific reason why I would not do that, folks. Very specific reason indeed. Now, if I had moved here and attacked this, or if I had even moved here, there's an infantry that could go here and there's an infantry that can go here. I would not be able to one-shot this. This would still be here. My tank would be trapped. Trap. Now, whether or not this was HamSlammich's intention, I can't say for sure. But I smelt a trap. Smelt a trap, folks. And even if I went here and attacked, there's still a block here. There is a block here. There's a block here. And there's an infantry block down here, which would still trap my tank. And then he could bust out. Probably just a tank. Bust out a tank from right there. My tank would get stuck. He buys a tank. This bomber goes over here. I'm going to have myself a bad time, folks. The only thing that I have right now going for me is the fact that I have this tank. This tank right here. It's a legend. The legend of the solo tank, folks. Is he going to be able to get enough done in this game to be effective? I don't know. But we're going to find out, folks. But that's why I went and attacked this guy. You know, HamSlammich, he's going to get that income, folks. You know, he's going to get the income. I'm not going to be able to deny that income long term. So in my mind, I was like, what is even the point of attacking that city? I don't know. You know, it's not worth it, folks. Not worth it. Not worth losing a tank over. I'm going to be needing that tank. But you know what else I'm going to be needing, folks? I'll be needing anti-air. So go double anti-air for this one, folks. And you know why? Because when you see a bomber, you go double anti-air. Actually, in all reality, you really only need to go one anti-air. But I'm being silly, folks. I'm busting out the anti-air. This is the greatest game of Advance Wars you have ever seen. This is peak Advance Wars right here, folks. Now, let us carry on. HamSlammich moving in to capture one of the properties. Probably going to get that property. I could deny it temporarily, but I can't deny it long term. Not unless I bust out a battlecopter, folks. HamSlammich busts out an anti-air. An anti-air of all things, folks. He busts out the anti-air, which is kind of curious. I was thinking to myself, Mr. HamSlammich over here busting out the anti-air, folks. Why would he bust out an anti-air when a tank would be the immediate response to this tank right here? Well, it would appear that HamSlammich wants to go over here and lock my airport right away, but I, being the chess player, have absolutely no intention of buying any air units just yet. And if I do buy air units, you can bet your bottom dollar it's not going to be a battlecopter, folks. So I go in for this attack right here, and I take out the 2 HP. I could have attacked this one, but once again, you know, there's a potential for a trap. Less potential this time than there was last time, but either way, I attacked this one. I just wanted to clear the unit, get rid of it, get out of here. You know, that's about it. All right, anti-air's moving in. Bada bing, bada boom, and the infantry move in too. I got 2 anti-airs on the field, and what's the best thing to do when you got 2 anti-airs on the field, folks? Well, buy 2 more anti-airs. You got to get 2 more anti-airs on the field, because if you're not busting out as many anti-airs as you possibly can in a single game of Advanced Wars, are you even gaming? That is the question, folks, and that is the thing that people really need to understand about Advanced Wars. If you're not busting out 4 anti-airs, well, you're not peak gaming, folks. All right, folks, we got an engagement down south from an infantry from HamSlammich. Sends the infantry forward, takes my infantry down to 5. Now, that will result in the destruction of that infantry, but temporarily, that infantry has done its job. It is going to be able to injure my infantry a little bit here, and HamSlammich busts out the double tank. He's got a double tank build today over here on day 9. What a powerful build, folks. And I got 17,000 money in the bank here. I will possibly, maybe be able to bust out 2 more tanks this turn in order to counter those 2 tanks. And that would probably be the better idea, folks. You got to be getting 2 tanks on the field at this point. I mean, any other buy would just be absolutely madness, folks. If you were to buy anything else other than 2 tanks, maybe the classiest unit in Advanced by Web might be a really good buy as well, folks. But you know what? As stated before, folks, this is peak gaming. So we have a infantry sacrifice up north, and then I attack this guy. And I do the sacrifice move right here in order to take this guy down to 2. Now, if we do a casual replay of that, folks, boom, right there, take him down to 6. Go in, boom, take him down to 2. I'm denying. I am the denier of properties up north, folks. He's not going to be able to get those properties. And the big question right now is, what are the buys going to be? Is he going to bust out the classiest unit in Advanced by Web? Is he going to bust out 2 tanks and an infantry? No, I'm going to bust out 2 more anti-airs, folks. We got 6 anti-airs on the field, and they are ready to go. They are ready to destroy any potential air units that flood the field of battle at any moment. This is peak gaming, folks. This is what it's all about. Now, HamSlammich, being the smart fella that he is, join caps his infantries up north in order to guarantee that he is going to be able to acquire that property. Because I really don't want to go in with a tank and an infantry and take that guy out. It's just not something that I really want to do, folks. Not in my job description at this moment. Very unfortunate that HamSlammich did not get the KO on this guy right here. I don't believe that it's very good odds, but you know what? It is odds. And HamSlammich, you know, unfortunately HamSlammich, he makes a little bit of a tactical error here, folks. Now, I don't know exactly what the purpose of this tactical error is, but it is a tactical error nonetheless. So, unfortunately, he has left his bomber vulnerable. And I have just enough anti-airs, and I am just thirsty enough for that bomber blood that I'm going to just go ahead and throw all my anti-airs into the fray and just take a big old shot. Take a big old shot on that bomber before it can actually do any funny business over here in the future, folks. Take another shot on an infantry, and then I'm just yeeting, folks. We are just going to be yeeting over here. Full force yeeting. That's what we're doing. We're just sending everything. We don't even care about what the repercussions of these moves are. We're just going to be yeeting. Yeeting and greeting, folks. And I built both tanks on the bottom of the map, which probably actually was a mistake. Probably should have at least built one of them up here in order to, contend with the threat of impending doom up north. But I don't. I build them both down south because why not, folks? Why not? You just build them wherever you want to build them. Don't even bother worrying about it. Don't even think. Just do. There's no such thing as thinking. There's just doing. And HamSlammich, he is a doer. He is a doer indeed, folks. A diddly doer as he pops the Force March. The +1 movement plus additional firepower on roads. Now, unfortunately, I really don't see too much of attacks that he's going to really be able to get. He's going to be able to get a couple of infantry strikes. He's going to get a strike with this tank. But, I mean, that's really it, folks. That's it. That's all he's going to be able to do. He's not going to be able to get any like, incredibly devastating attacks, but yeah, you know, I say he's not going to be able to get any incredibly devastating attacks, but then he does 2 damage to my anti-air. That's something. That's incredibly devastating, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not my intention for that to happen, but that is what happened, folks. So we have lost 2 of the anti-airs out of the 6 anti-airs. And it is now Mr. Cannon, aka Sammy Original Guy's turn, and we bust out the turbocharge, folks. We got the turbocharge. I should have probably just popped the turbocharge first, got the extra 10% firepower so I could maybe destroy this, but I did not. So, say lovey. We're going to be yeeting, folks. We're going to be full force yeeting. We're going to destroy the bomber. 6 anti-airs in order to take out 1 bomber. That is completely reasonable. There's absolutely no regrets here, folks. Absolutely no regrets. We're going to be attacking that anti-air. Take that to do absolutely no extra damage to it. Nope, no extra damage. But we are going to take out an infantry. A couple more infantry here have been taken out. We're going to do the double tank infantry build today. HamSlammich sitting down at 13 units, folks. Sitting down at 13 units. Not really doing too good at the moment when it comes to unit count. But the one thing that you can definitely count on for this map, this match, this battle, this epic battle, is that I'm going to be yeeting, folks. We are going to be full force yeeting non-stop for at least the first part. So anyways, I yeet all my units, and then most of my units are going to just explode now. So it was a good yeet. It was a good yeet while it lasted, folks. Now we have several KOs on the map here, and I'm down to 2.5 anti-airs out of 6. This is day 12. So I'm going to try to cap a property. You know, it's probably not going to work, but I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm going to take out an infantry. I'm going to yeet some more units in order to do that. I'm going to take out another infantry. We are going to join. We're going to join the anti-airs. Did you see that, folks? Did you see that? I'm sitting at 20,600 funds. Let me join. All of a sudden, I have 24,600 funds. And you know what that means, folks? That means we buy a bomber. We got the classiest unit of the sky on the field, ready to go. That is going to force HamSlammich's hand in order to buy something that he did not want to buy. He doesn't want to buy it, folks. I'm also going to injure the infantry so that he can't immediately capture my properties and use my 1 HP as a blocker. And then we are going to bust out 2 infantry. We got a base skip in order to do this, folks. Unfortunately, you know, the plan was a plan, and it was planningly awesome. That's all I got. Anyways, so then HamSlammich just utterly and massively just destroys the rest of my army here in the front lines. And then I start to realize something here, folks, that HamSlammich, you know, you can't just recklessly walk into HamSlammich and not expect to get flippin' slammed. You just start yeeting against HamSlammich and he's gonna slam you. He's gonna slam you to the ground. Choke slam to the ground. And then you can't get up. So at this point, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I actually think I'm losing. I think I'm losing this game right now. And that's not good. I don't want to lose this game. Or do I? I don't know. Do I want to lose the greatest game of Advance Wars? Maybe. As long as it's good content, you know, I think I don't mind losing most of the time, so it's okay. Anyways, so I attack an infantry. And I'll tell you the main reason why I'm pretty sure that I'm losing right now, folks, and that is entirely based on tank count. So HamSlammich has 10 tanks on the field, folks. He's got 10 tanks. That is a lot of tanks. That's a lot of tanks on the field. I myself have 4 tanks. Now, I could have potentially had a lot more tanks, but I invested so much money into all those anti-airs because it was hilarious. But now I'm significantly lower on tank count, which is very dangerous. Very dangerous. If HamSlammich, if he was the aggressive sort, he could just push in with all of his tanks right now and just do devastating things. Absolutely devastating things. So these are the things you have to watch out for, folks. So I immediately have to increase that tank count. So I buy 2 more tanks, and I'm actually losing because I'm lower on funds than he is at the start of his turn, which is, not a great place to be. But you know what? I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried, folks, because we're just playing Advance Wars. Just playing Advance Wars, having a good time. HamSlammich, even though he's got a devastatingly large tank count, doesn't push in with him. Doesn't push in because he fears the bomber, folks. He fears the bomber. He's got nightmares about Jess bombers. I don't actually know if that's why, but anyways. So, do a little front shifty poo. Put my tanks in the middle with the bomber. And then pass the turn over to HamSlammich once again over here on day 15. HamSlammich with 20 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock. You can see that we have both been absolutely yeeting this game, folks. But HamSlammich busts out a mega tank. The mega tank, folks. 3 medium tanks in a trench coat has just arrived on the field. Oh my lord, folks. Oh my lord. And now this is where the game gets absolutely interesting, folks. How do you contend with a mega tank? What do you do against a mega tank that has just arrived on the field? And not only any mega tank, this is also a coal mega tank, so it's going to be movement boosted, potentially by +2. Now I'm going to have to save money because the only thing that you can do in order to contend with a mega tank is to buy another mega tank. You have to counter it with a mega tank. That's the only thing that's going to work. So anyway, so I begin trading tanks down south because, why not? I think it'd be funny. So we're just going to start trading tanks. He's going to attack, then I'm going to attack, then he's going to attack, and then he's probably going to be a little bit up on the tanks than me. But you know what? Got to do something, folks. You got to do something. You got to keep that tank count low. All right. So he does triple infantry this turn. Triple infantry. But for those of you that are following the money, we got 29,600 funds on the field. And you know what that means, folks? That means we are going to be able to bust out the biggest unit in Advance Wars by Web. The big metal unit. That's what we got here, folks. We got a base skip for the mega tank. We got a Jess mega tank. Jess is the certified mega tank champion of Advance Wars by Web. And let's see this mega tank go ahead and get the job done as HamSlammich busts out a bomber. He busts out a bomber, folks. He could have busted out another mega tank, but he's decided to go bomber. And he really wants that property in the middle of the map, folks. He can taste it. Oh, he can taste that property in the middle right now. Sweet, sweet income awaits. But me, I'm all about getting KOs over income, folks. We don't need income. We moved the bomber to the north, and now I take control of the north because HamSlammich is trying to stop the production of the Jess bombers. And we can't have that, folks. We can't have that. Anyways, I buy 2 mechs and an infantry this turn. Now, I want you all to just know for certain that this mech right here, this one, that was an accident. That was a misclick. I didn't really mean to buy this mech. But you know what? After buying the mech, I was kind of thinking to myself, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with this mech, and I'm going to see what this mech can do, folks. So we're going to follow this mech, and we're going to see exactly what he can do. Because a Trail of Woe has just been activated, folks. That is the Coal Super Co-Power, which gives him +2 movement and increased firepower on roads. So let's see what he does. I think he's got a pretty neat idea here, folks. But he does not get the luck roll here. He uses 2 tanks to get that one out. Takes out a tank. Hits an anti-air pretty heartily. And then he moves the bomber. The bomber coming in with that massive firepower, folks. Gets a 2-shot on this tank down here. Moves the infantry in. Gets a shot on the mech. And now my army is looking pretty rough down south, folks. And oh my god, did you guys see that Did you guys see that mega tank movement? Look at this mega tank. That's a mega butt. That is a mega butt. Mega butt. Mega butt. Mega butt. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's funny stuff. All right, so the mega butt was moving. And then he moves the anti-air down. So now it is day 18. And I'm at 111100. 111100 income. Total army value. I mean, yeah, that's the one. That's what we're at. And I also have 24,000 income. 17 properties. 17 properties. No comm towers on this map once again, folks. We got no additional income. This is straight cartridge gaming. But what do you do? What do you do in this situation, folks? You know? Because by the looks of it here, I mean, there's no way that I can get through here to get to the bomber. The mega tank is a pretty nice buffer, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Even if I buy, like, even if I resorted to such tactics as buying the soiled abomination, like a bomber plus tanks is gonna be able to take out the soiled abomination. If I bought the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web, unfortunately, in this position, it would just be the classiest looking paperweight as it's just moved off of the field. HamSlammich then moves onto the base. I'm in a pickle, folks. I'm in a pickle. I'm pickled. Cucumber. What do you do? Anyways, I stay cool as a cucumber for this one, folks, because when you're in a pickle, you gotta stay cool as a cucumber. And I attack a tank. And then I pop a super co-power, busting out the just super co-power, the overdrive. And with this overdrive, I do notice a couple things. I see a few things that are possible for this turn. I think this is probably actually a brilliant turn. Absolutely brilliant turn. So I move down here and I attack. I take out the tank with the mega tank because that's just a given. Actually, I'm going to show you guys because people have mentioned that they really like the damage calculator in Advanced Wars by Web. I'm just going to show you a nice damage. A nice damage right here. Yeah, that's cool. 243% to 251%. So, I mean, there's a slight possibility that this could one-shot, but I don't know. Odds are maybe against me for that one. Anyways, so that guy is just deleted. And we got an attack here. We got an attack. So take this guy all the way down to 1. And he survives, right? So I attack with 2 infantry to guarantee the KO here. And now I got some problems. Got some problems. I'm trying to think about how I can navigate this situation, folks. And I came up with something. I came up with an idea. I came up with it right before I attacked this, because I was doing some damage calculators, you know, mid-game, just looking around, seeing what's possible. I did see something. Also, HamSlammich busts out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars, so props to HamSlammich. Absolutely beautiful buy up there. Okay, so this is how I'm going to navigate the situation, folks. I move a tank down, attack, and then I join these 2 tanks together. And you know why? Because that gives me 28,900 funds. And you know what you could buy with 28,900 funds, folks? You could buy a mega tank, bust it out on the field. Now. That base cannot be taken. The bomber is unable to do enough damage to a mega tank, folks. It's only going to do like 2 damage. There's no way I'm losing that base now. I'm feeling pretty secure. I'm moving the mech in. The macho mech Randy Savage. He's in on the prowl. Move the bomber down south and then end my turn. Now, I'm out of range, so don't got to worry about that, folks. Checked it. Checked the range. Anyways, so HamSlammich now attacks a mech, attacks a tank, attacks a tank, attacks a tank, attacks an anti-air, attacks the mega tank. And that's actually kind of an issue, folks, you know? But it ain't blocks in the mega tank. But the problem with this block is it actually doesn't block this mega tank. So this mega tank can attack here, and then this mega tank can escape. I think what maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this guy could go over here and block this position. This guy could block right here, and then the mega tank would be stuck in there. But you know, that's not something that happens, so we don't really have to worry about it too much. Anyways, HamSlammich busts out a rocket. It's got a rocket on the field, folks. What an absolutely massive rocket. Big range on that guy right there. Alright, so the mech. Boom, we attack a tank. And that's what the mech was all about, folks. Mech was all about attacking the tank. Use the bomber to attack the anti-air. Mega tank busts out mega tank. Mega tank deletes tank. And then I buy an anti-air and only an infantry out of the base, because there's not really any point to bust out an anti-air out of the base when it would probably just be destroyed by the bomber. So yeah, that's not really something that I'm feeling too comfortable with. So we just didn't do it. And we build another infantry, folks. It is now day 20. HamSlammich takes position in the center of the map here because he is trying to acquire my property. He wants my property really badly, folks. That's what he wants over here. So that's what he's trying to get. He's actually using the classiest unit in Advanced by Web right now up north in order to hold down one of the cities, waiting for his infantry to go over there and capture it as well. But I do have an infantry in position right now where I could use it to injure the infantry, which would prolong the capture of any of my properties. So I'm probably going to do that, folks. But HamSlammich once again leaves his bomber open, which is fine. You know, it's fine. But it allows me to get a co-power, folks. And the co-power is what it's all about. We're going to turbocharge up in here. We are going to use the mega tanks to attack some people. We are going to attack that guy. We're going to move in here. We're going to attack this guy. And then we're going to move in with the bomber. Now, this is a very interesting situation here, folks, because I do need to do at least 70% damage here. And as we can see here, the bomber at 9 HP is going to be able to do anywhere between 69 and 75% damage. So there is a slight possibility, with a very low roll, that I won't be able to get the adequate amount of damage needed in order to stop this capture, folks. So we're going to go ahead and roll it, and we get it, folks. Of course we get it, because I am a luck master. I'm a luck master over here, folks. We're going to injure an infantry further. And then we are going to pass the turn over to HamSlammich as we bust out 2 more tanks. And it's now day 21. HamSlammich uses the super co-power. The Trail of Woe is popped. He's got 1 mega tank on the field. He moves down to attack my mega tank on a road. Does 60% damage, which is a respectable amount of damage, folks. But unfortunately, it's not enough to take out the mega tank. And that does allow, or that does put his mega tank in a position where my mega tank can attack him first, which is going to result in the end of the game. So HamSlammich has resigned the match. He's resigned the match, folks. But what an absolutely amazing game, folks. Now, we're going to look at the stats here, folks. So myself, Mr. Cannon, managed to destroy 31 units, accumulating a total of 120,000 gold. But I lost 35 units, which was a total of 121,000. HamSlammich manages to destroy 33 units for a total value of 106,000. Lost 124,000. So no mega tanks were actually destroyed in the making of this video, folks. Unfortunately, I wasn't actually able to make the classiest unit in Advanced by Web in this game. I was considering it. Actually, pretty much after this was done, I was going to start medium tank spamming, but unfortunately, HamSlammich resigned just before I was able to do it. So I do actually feel very bad about that. I am kind of sad. I was very sad, actually. But sometimes that's just the way it is, folks. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. And if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I'm going to also leave a link to HamSlammich's Twitch in the description where you can go check him out. He streams Advance Wars on the weekends sometimes, and it is a good time. So enjoy yourselves, people. Take care, and bye-bye for now.